Welcome back to Quantreef.com. Bitcoin's trading around 64,888, sitting right between a cluster of liquidity pools that could decide the next few hours. Let's walk through liquidity, support and resistance, VWAP, Fibonacci, fair value gaps, positioning, and the likely path from here. Price is at 64,888, holding above session VWAP near 64,000 for 66, and well above both anchored VWAPs from the swing high and low, which are clustered close together around 63,800. That's constructive for buyers on paper, but the 9-layer grade reads neutral overall, so momentum here is more about location than conviction. Price accepting above value is the tell. The nearest big pool sits just above at 65,258, less than 1% away, carrying over 2.5 billion in resting size. That's the magnet on this chart. Below, there's a smaller pool near 63,985. Markets tend to run toward the fatter pool first because that's where stops cluster and market makers can fill size, then often reverse once liquidity swept. On screen, resistance 1 sits at 65,143, then resistance 2 way up at 66,937, and resistance 3 at 68,215. Below, support is the 1-hour swing low at 64,155, with a stop-loss level at 63,779. Given price is closer to resistance 1, that's the more likely first test, and a break of the swing low support would invalidate the bullish red. Above, there are two unfilled daily fair value gaps, one between 67,516 and 70,686, and a second higher one near 71,400 to 73,400, both untouched and acting as longer-term magnets. Below, a 4-hour bullish gap sits around 62,863 to 63,664, already partially filled. Price is sitting just above the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement near 64,188, which is acting as support. Given how close that fib level is, price is more likely to react to it first before any gap comes into play. The card grades this a watch, with N at 78 and HTS at 50. Order flow and liquidity map is the strongest layer at 78.6, while statistical volatility and institutional positioning drag it down, sitting in the 20s and 30s. Retail longs are at 54%, top accounts 55% long, and the 4-hour taker split shows 53% long versus 47% short, a mild long tilt that leaves long slightly more exposed if price turns down. Price sitting between value and the upside wall at 65,258 makes that the more probable magnet first, with reach odds around 68% over 24 hours versus 36 for the downside pool. With retail and top accounts both leaning long near 54 to 55%, a sweep through 65,258 could trigger a fade, squeezing late longs back toward the fib support at 64,188. If sellers instead push through that support, the 4-hour gap near 63,664 to 62,863 becomes the next draw. Bullish case confirms on acceptance above 65,258 targeting 66,937, invalidated below 63,779. Bearish case confirms on a break of 64,155, targeting the 63,985 zone, invalidated on reclaim above 65,143. So we're sitting right at a decision point. Whichever side grabs that next liquidity pool likely sets the tone for the next leg. If this kind of breakdown helps, give the video a like and subscribe. Quantreef.com runs this same 9-layer structure, probability and liquidity read across more than 100 coins, with a 7-day trial if you want to dig deeper. This is for educational purposes only, not financial advice.